Yeah, well, it's kind of coincidence, you know. Well, I'm not the typical activist type of the person, I believe. I left Japan at the age of 17 or 16 or something like that because I hated Japanese educations. You know, at the age of 14 or something. I mean, if I'm continue to go into the Japanese education systems, I'm gonna be sick. From first, I went to the China's. Then by the road, I went to Pakistan, Afghanistan at that time. But that time was different, you know. I was too young. Oh man, it's fightings. Russia is occupied, so I've gotta go. It's kind of things. The situation is different. There was no kidnap. At least that's nowadays. Then I went to the Iran after Pakistan. At that time, still Khomeini was alive. Then during the time of Iran and Iraq wars. Okay, then I traveled a lot between the age of 16 until late 20s. But all the time I felt something is different. I mean, some strangeness. Especially among the Japanese tourists. You see, I was too young at the age of 16. But plus, in Japan, with the Japanese, among the Japanese, nobody so mention about the Japans. Nobody don't use the word of Japan so often. But as soon as I left the countries, many Japanese people, among the Japanese peoples, using only Japanese peoples, but use the word so often, Japan, Japan, Japans. You see? I feel really strange, you know? I carry Japanese citizenship. Those guys carry Japanese citizenships. If you think something wrong with your citizenship, why at least don't you go back and try to do something to change? 8 years ago, somehow, I mean, yeah. That was the beginning of really like committed to the social activities, you know.
And what did you do usually? Did you work with other organizations or?
No, I mean, I don't belong to any real organizations. In Palestine, first time, I stay along with the ISM, International Solidarity Movement, because after the second Intifadas, you know, well, Israel is doing everything, you see. You know,
Palestinian.
tourists to Palestinians.
Yeah.
All the medias, I mean, they just telling the bullshit, you know, because it's rocket from Gaza hit to the Israel. That's nothing, I mean, you know, by any means, by according to the laws, or by the UN, what Israel is doing is wrong, totally, I mean. They got no right. You see? Minimally, after the 1967s, which means what they're doing by force, even the military police exercise in the West Bank is wrong, you know? But without focus, without attention, especially from international attentions, they don't care about Palestinians, believe me. They should like this way, I mean, you know? So that's why ISM, International Solidarity Movement, based on the idea of non-violence direct actions. Non-violence, but direct actions. You know, not just talking, be there, be in front. You see? Which was, nowadays less, be able to, like a wall between Palestinians and Israel, I mean, authorities, you know?
I just saw a film that's about a small village in West Bank, and it's a film.
Berlin?
Yeah, Berlin.
Yeah, I was in Berlin too. You see, he got his land. Without any right, Israel authority government tried to put the walls, you see, in front of his land. It's try to steal his land, right? So, if there is a wall, he cannot go into his own farming land.
Exactly.
That's why protest started. But Israel, they don't care. They built up walls. After Abdullah, he brought that case into the court. He won. But anyway, before that, so what we did there is international, like me and some Western people, I slept there. his place. Because if only Palestinians, they don't care. They even don't care, they can kill.
So they decided to give?
Yeah, but there is a written rules, written law, but government didn't follow at that time, even the cities. So there was one case in the northern part of the Kyushu. One, not that old, one man died because of hunger. You see, without any food, only one little tiny soda was in the fridge. He visited to the city centers many times, asked about the pensions, but he got kicked out. That's became the news in the newspaper. That's triggered to the activists, homeless issues activists and social right activists and the lawyer and join. Since we gotta succeed to make government do the right things according to the law, totally the street view in a big city especially totally changed before. Before you saw the many homeless people everywhere in a public park, under the bridge, but nowadays most of people,
So
could use that pension system at least. I mean, young activists, most of them has been arrested, carry civil cases, and have sentences already, even though with suspensions. But they are still soft. Those softness really touch me,
In what way?
In what way? You see, let's say not only Japan's, let's compare to Japan's. Japanese struggling place. Let's put aside about Okinawa's. But basically main island, no matter nukes and the homeless issues. I mean, struggling in long period. You see, people getting really stiff.
Okay.
You see.
So soft as in more flexible, or soft
More
as in
acceptable,
more
acceptance.
acceptance.
Yeah.
Okay, you mean they're more open for
More open
for like in what
for
way?
strangers unlike I am. You see. More open to communicate. You see. That's my first impressions, which is amazed me. You see. Okay, for example, Gang-Jeong, there are many Catholic sisters and the fathers, and the many Catholic Christian and the Christians, But that's on the surface. You see, every morning when I get there's some people pray. How they pray is really touch me to my heart, even though I'm not Christians. I think it's soft. I don't know. Maybe softness come from belief. I guess, but this first impression of softness of Korean activists and the situation of struggling place and their everyday continuous like a pray, but not just a pray. You see, pray in front of the gate to protest, believe what they believe, which is touch me, which combine this Gangjeong struggle is very special, I think.
What does this mean, like this kind of, and for you, especially who's been to many these kind of how do you call it, the conflict zones where you must have seen that things just didn't work out, it had a very pessimistic results. For you, how do you see this?
Well, what you gonna do? People still has to leave. Even before the construction, after constructions. You see, outsider can't decide easily. Now it's time's up. You see? Now it's building and base is built up. You see, now it's too late. We gotta leave. But towards the food, why can't you say goodbye to them, Because you got a place to go back. But people who live there has to leave. It's not like a one day kind of thing. Build up, finish. You see? So at that point, you see, this is two things. One protest, maybe protest against the first build up the basis, you see, and succeed. Maybe that is right. But another side, with that, the many people, even the activists, try to build up what they believe, what kind of community, what kind of societies they want to live, which is still keep carry on, keep continuous. Not just by saying the message, you know. They're just not saying, they try to make what really we want to live together. You see? I think those activities inspire to Korean writers.